What is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day today, and in this video we are finally going to talk about the best meta skill moves and how to perform them. I know you guys have been asking this for a long time, and I have spent at least 2 weeks working on this video, so I hope you guys are going to enjoy this video and learn a lot about these meta skill moves. In this video I will talk about all the meta skill moves and how and when you should perform them, and I will also tell you guys how and when you should not perform them. I will explain that about every skill move in complete detail. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. So the first skill move that we're going to talk about is open up fake shot, because it is one of the most popular skill moves out there, and I think everybody is using it at this point because it is extremely effective. It opens up a lot of space and it also gives you a pace burst if you are using it on players which have really good agility, balance and sprint speed. It can be used really effectively against defenders who are calmly defending as well as those who want to rush to you, and it works tremendously against both situations. Its skill stun is extremely good and it offers a lot of space once the opposing player is stunned. Now we're gonna learn how and when you should be doing this skill move. When you're performing any skill move, the position of your joystick with respect to the position of your opponent's joystick makes all the difference. We can see our joystick, but we cannot see our opponent's joystick, so you have to judge and guess by looking at the opposing player's movement, and it is not hard to predict in which direction they're moving. Your joystick's position after performing the skill move also matters. I will explain that in detail in this video. So first of all, let's take a look at this clip. As you can see that by looking at the direction Toni Kroos is coming from, I'm guessing that the opponent's joystick is moving in this direction, hence my joystick is moving in that direction. And when you are performing open up fake shot, you have to make sure that the opponent is not coming towards the direction where the open up fake shot is going to take place. And even though my joystick is moving in this direction initially because Toni Kroos is coming from that direction, I know that Kroos is going to sprint away from the direction where my open up fake shot is going to take place, so it's completely safe to attempt it here. Another example with R9 here, you can see that the defender is coming towards this direction, but my open up fake shot will be performed in that direction, so it is completely safe to attempt it, and it also causes a stun. Now let's take a look at some contrary examples. Paul Scholes is going in this direction and my joystick is also moving in the direction he's coming from, so that is why my open up fake shot is going to get intercepted quite easily there. Same case here with Son. My open up fake shot and my joystick are moving in the same direction that Burn is going towards, so my open up fake shot is going to get intercepted here once again. And here is one last example where I can show you guys that you should not attempt this skill move when you have a significant distance between you and the opposing defender and you are also pointing towards the direction of that same defender. The ball is going to get intercepted quite easily. Next up, we are going to talk about Roulette, because Roulette is a default skill move on most of the players. You can also purchase this from the store in case you don't have many players who have Roulette as their default skill move, but majority of the players have this skill move as their default skill move, so you should know how to perform it absolutely perfectly. You can also combine this skill move with something like open up fake shot, but make sure you don't spam them simultaneously. If you want to attempt 2 different skill moves one after another, make sure you take some steps before performing the other. That way your player will not lose balance. Let's take a look at some situations where you should not be attempting Roulette, and this is one of those situations. As you can see, I got lots of players around me and Roulette needs space. You can't perform the skill move in crowded areas, so make sure you avoid performing the skill move in congested spaces. And this is how you should not be performing the skill move. You can see that Jamie Carragher is moving in the same direction as me. So in this case, if I perform the Roulette, I'm going to get dispossessed. I should have performed Roulette by pointing towards that direction instead of this one, because then I would be pointing away from Carragher and not in the same direction as him. And that is the case when your opponent is chasing you down. And this is how you attempt this skill move when you are face to face with your opponent. You first deceive your opponent by making him think that you are coming straight towards him. As you can see here, Gareth Bale is pointing straight towards that Alvaro Carreras, and normally you don't want to attempt roulette in this scenario. As the opposing player comes forward, move your joystick just a little bit away and then perform the skill move, and you are going to perform it like a peach, and then you're going to score some awesome goals like this one. Once again, I'm going to show you the same move. Initially, my joystick is moving in this direction, and that is the direction Alvaro Carreras is also going towards, but I immediately change my direction that way and then perform the roulette, and it's performed with absolute perfection. Once again, I trick my opponent by thinking I'm going towards this direction, and Fernando Hero is also coming towards this direction, and if I attempt roulette here, I'm 100% getting dispossessed, but I immediately move my joystick this way and then perform the roulette, and that leads to another beautiful goal. Now here is a little neat trick that you can perform with a double roulette. So you perform your first roulette, and before your initial roulette's movement is finished, you have to move your joystick in the direction a player is coming from behind you. And as the animation of your first roulette finishes, you have to perform another roulette instantly, and that is going to give you a beautiful goal like this one. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite lane change. Lane change was one of the most effective skill move in the last update, and it's still one of the most effective skill move currently. It can stun the opponent, it can create spaces, and it can do wonders for you. So first let's talk about when and how you should not be attempting this skill move. The same joystick principle applies here. If your joystick is moving towards the direction the player is coming from, you don't want to attempt this skill move. Once again, you can see Robertson is going in this direction, and my joystick is also moving in this direction, and when I attempt lane change, it gets easily intercepted. So you have to make sure you don't perform this skill move is pointing towards the direction the opposing player is either coming towards, or if your opponent's joystick is just pointed in that direction even if the player is not coming towards you. You have to judge that by the opposing player's movements. And here is how you perform this skill move. Guardiola is sprinting towards this direction, so I change my joystick direction this way, and then I perform it absolutely perfectly. And I think this is the most important situation where you have to utilize your lane change perfectly. And if you do, it works like a charm. My Ginola is going towards this direction, and Van Dijk is also coming towards that direction. I'm immediately going to switch my joystick position there and then perform lane change, and look how beautifully it's performed, and the goal is also beautiful. And if you see an opposing defender not moving in any direction, it means that the opponent is not controlling that defender manually and it's being controlled automatically. And if you are sure about this fact, then you should point your joystick directly towards that player and then perform the lane change, and you get something like that. Double lane change is one of my favorite moves when I want to create spaces. And it is extremely effective if you are playing against an opponent who is rushing a lot with his defenders. You can simply perform this move twice and it gets you something like these situations. Passing before using skill moves always opens up spaces, but if you perform this skill move twice, it opens up extra bit of space. Next up, we're going to talk about heel to heel, because yes baby, heel to heels are back in the meta, and they are back with a bang because they really get you that pace burst, and they also create lots of spaces for you to exploit, because once you create space using heel to heel, the player that is miles away from you will at least for once take a look at what is going on, and that will give you a lot of space to pass through, and you can score some really good goals. And same rules about joystick movement is going to be applied for heel to heel as well, but you can also perform heel to heel in the same direction the player is going towards in case that opposing player is not calmly defending and it's going to rush towards you. In those situations, heel to heel can be really effective. But in situations where you are being chased by the opposing players, You don't want to attempt this skill move if your joystick is moving towards the same direction the opposing player's joystick is going towards. And that is basically the only tip you need about this skill move, otherwise it is really OP. Next up, we've got Stepover and Exit. Both Stepover and Exit and Flick Up Jog offer you speed bursts, but the big difference is that the speed bursts you get from Stepover and Exit are more controlled if you compare them with Flick Up Jog. So that is why I think Stepover and Exit is a better skill move. It gives you an incredible speed burst which opens up lots of spaces and scoring goals become a breeze. The other reason I really like Stepover and Exit is because it has some other variations as well. You don't always have to perform it the same way. If you move your joystick in a diagonal position after performing the skill move, your players will do the Stepover in one direction and then they will exit in the direction that you change towards. And that gives you a lot of mobility, and skill control in FC Mobile is all about mobility. Now here you can see that my Ginola is moving in this direction and it's the same direction Company is going towards, and he is going to intercept the ball. And you can see in this moment that I am pointing towards that direction and also performing my skill move. But I immediately changed my direction that way. You can see in that replay how effective this move is. And here is another way to utilize Stepover and Exit. I'm being chased by two defenders. I know for a fact that Davis is going to intercept me there. So this is where I took my thumb off the sprint button and cut inside using my stick movement. But at the same moment I was cutting inside, I also used Stepover and Exit to get a pace burst there. And if you take a look at that replay, that Van Dijk was on my ass and he would have easily intercepted the ball if I didn't use the pace burst from Stepover and Exit in that situation. Because when you immediately stop and then start sprinting again, it takes time for your player to accelerate, and using Stepover and Exit in those situations can be really effective, and that is why I prefer it over Flick Up Jog. Next up, we've got fake shots, and fake shots are one of the most effective skill moves in the game, and they don't even need a skill slot and any player can perform them as well. Fake shots can be used in different ways as well. They can be used to cut inside, they can be used to stun the opponents, and they can also be used to scoop the ball in any direction you want, and that gives you a lot of mobility. And you always want to perform fake shot opposite or away from the direction the opposing player is coming from or is moving towards. It can open up a lot of space just like any other skill move out there. You can perform some dummies with this skill move, or simply cut inside with your wingers, and this is one of my favorite combos that I like to do with open up fake shot and the fake shot that you have with your shooting button. So first of all, you want to move towards the goal with this, and you gotta make sure that you have enough space between you and the defender that is chasing you. Just about you can see on your screen as well. And as soon as the animation for open up fake shot ends, you want to use the fake shot pointing away from the goal and immediately finish off that chance with finesse shot. And if you attempt this skill move while you are pointing towards the direction the opposing player is going towards, then it's obviously going to get intercepted. And Elastico, we have Elastico. Elastico is a skill move which I don't 100% recommend that you use on your players, because 5-star skill move players are very limited, and maybe you have 1 or 2 or even 3 players with Elastico, but it's going to limit some options for your other players. And even if that's not an issue for you, it's almost impossible to master this skill move. Elastico has 2 variants. One is an inward Elastico and the other is the outward Elastico. Elastico is surely a very fun and very effective skill move if it's executed perfectly. My only issue with this skill move is the fact that it's very unpredictable and it's very hard to determine which form of this skill move you want to execute in which situation. And after spending so much time learning about this skill move, I have finally cracked it and I know how it should be performed and how it works. But I'm pretty sure you are going to go crazy after I tell you how it actually works. So if the ball is in your player's left foot and your joystick is pointing towards the right direction with respect to your player, you will perform the outward version of this skill move. If the ball is in your player's right foot and the joystick is moving in the left direction with respect to your player, you will perform the invert version of this skill move. And that is why it is so hard to execute this skill move perfectly, because you can process every single thing that is going on the pitch. You have to analyze the opposing players, you have to look at your own player's movement, and if you start looking in which feet your player is holding the ball, it is going to drive you crazy, because when a player moves forward, the ball keeps juggling from left to right, and it is really difficult to see in which feet your player is holding the ball when you are performing this skill move. And when you perform it perfectly without any intentions of performing it perfectly, something like that just happened. Whether Elastico is done perfectly or not, it's still going to give you a lot of face bursts, so I guess that's also a really good thing about this skill move, even if you can't predict its movements 100%. So here you can clearly see that the ball is on the left foot of Ginola and my joystick is in the right direction, and this is the exact moment where I am using my skill move. You can also see that, and hence Ginola performs the Elastico in the outward direction. And here once again you can see that the ball is on the left foot of Ginola, and this is the moment where I use my Elastico, and as my joystick moves towards the left direction, he performs the invert version of this skill move. And normally you want to attempt this skill move while you are facing your opponent directly, and if your joystick is facing this direction, your Elastico is also going to be performed in this way. So even if your opponent stays there or moves towards you, in both situations your Elastico is going to get intercepted. And that would be a wrap for today's video. I hope this video is going to help you improve your skill move techniques and your skills, and if it does, then it deserves a like, and don't forget to comment down your thoughts below. And if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, because I spent so much time working on this video and making this guide for you guys, and by doing so I had to delay some of my videos. I even had to go days without posting any videos because I was working on this video. So I would be really grateful if you guys could show your appreciation by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on the notification bell to never miss an update. And just a spoiler, I am also working on the stick dribbling guide, and that video is also going to be a banger like this one. I will break down every single tiny detail to you guys, and I hope that video will also help you master stick dribbling. So until then, take care, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Not so much given away as cleverly won. Real Madrid going through the gears.